Hey guys, in this lesson we'll be looking at the sense organ for taste, taste buds, and also the 4 main types of taste. Okay, my name is Divine Gift Ndubweze Olichukwu, and this is Divine Gift Lectures. Subscribe to this channel and also like this video and comment. All right, let's get into business. The sense organ for taste is the tongue. Okay, the sense organ for taste is the tongue, and on the surface of this tongue, we are looking at our cells, our special cells called chemo receptors. So on the surface of this tongue are special cells called chemoreceptors. Now let's talk about chemoreceptors in general. Now chemoreceptors are used to detect chemical stimuli. So they are used to detect chemical stimuli. Chemo, okay? Chemoreceptors are used to detect chemical stimuli like what? Now we are looking at this in general. There are some chemoreceptors used to detect the chemical stimuli of smell. This type of chemoreceptors are present in the nose, whilst some can be used to detect the chemical stimuli of taste present in the tongue. Okay, so these are what the type of chemical stimuli, and this is what we'll be considering in this lesson since we are looking at the organ for taste. Okay, so how are these actually chemical stimuli? The smell, for example, chemical substances are dissolved or they are actually diffused in air. They are diffused in air and we are able to smell them. Chemical stimuli. While for taste, when we take in chemical substances into our mouth, for example, like food substances are chemical substances, okay? Chemical stimuli. So we taste it. Chemical stimuli, okay? So the smell and taste is what? They are chemical stimuli. Alright? So now we'll be looking at places we can find chemoreceptors in our tongue. Okay, so we are looking at the one for taste, the chemoreceptors for taste. Where can they be found? And as I said before, they are found on the surface of the tongue. The surface of the tongue can also be seen as epithelium. Okay, this is the covering for the tongue. So chemoreceptors can be found on where? The surface of the tongue, which you can also call the epithelium of the tongue. Because there are also other parts of the body where epithelium covers. The epithelium covers the outer surface of other parts of the body, like you can look at the alimentary canal, which is involved in digestive system. The epithelium covers it, is the outermost covering. So it can be found on where? Epithelium of the tongue. They can also be found in the epithelium at the back of the mouth, okay? That's the outermost surface. The epithelium at the back of the mouth and also on the soft palate. Soft palate. Okay, the palate is the upper part of the inside of our mouth, okay? And the soft palate is actually behind. Well, we have also the hard palate, but that is at the front. Okay, so the chemoreceptors for taste can be found on the epithelium of the tongue or the surface of the tongue, the epithelium at the back of the mouth, and also on the soft palate. So one thing we must also note is that the chemoreceptors for this taste, they are actually found in groups. They do not occur singly, but they actually are found in groups in taste buds. Okay. So we are going to clean this up and draw a taste bud, because chemoreceptors are grouped into taste buds. So we are going to clean this up and draw a taste bud. So now, as I said before, chemoreceptors, they are grouped. So we are going to draw some chemoreceptors here for taste. You can also call them sensory cells for taste. Okay, so these are the chemoreceptors I've drawn in group. Okay, so these are the chemoreceptors, and they have hair-like processes from the upper tip, just here, and we are going to label it soon. So these are the chemoreceptors, and they have hair-like processes on their upper parts, and in between them are, I'll draw it with blue, are present supporting cells. They are not the sensory cells, but they are supporting cells. Okay. So we have the supporting cells in between them. So these are the supporting cells in between them. And we are going to draw what? The outer, where it's staying. Okay. So let's say this is the epithelium of what? Of the tongue. So these upper parts, as I said before, they are found in what? This upper surface of the tongue, or the epithelium of the tongue, and in other places I mentioned. So taking this part as the epithelium of the tongue. Okay, so these are the epithelial cells. That's the cells present in the epithelium. Okay. So let me label the rest. We have the sensory cell, the chemoreceptors we are talking about. Sensory cell. We have the supporting cell. Okay, and we have the hair-like processes. Hair-like processes. Okay, and we have the taste pore. This pore here is the taste pore. So this is what? This is the taste bud. Okay, and as I said before, it is what? It is made up of what? Groups of chemoreceptors that what? Come together, they form the taste bud. Alright, so just below it also, we have sensory neurons. Okay, that form a nerve that leads to the brain. Okay, so these are nerves leading to the brain. Okay, so this is the taste bud. So this is the taste bud, and we have to know that there's liquid substance that just covers this. Okay, and we'll get to find out later that this is actually important. Alright, so these are the parts. We have the supporting cells, the sensory cells, the hair processes, hair processes. We have the taste pore, the liquid, and we have the nerves leading to the brain, and we have the what? Epithelium. Alright, so now in tasting, first of all, we're going to look at the use of this liquid now. First of all, you cannot taste without what? Having a liquid for the chemical substance to dissolve in. The chemical substance has to first of all dissolve in a liquid before it is able to taste it. Then it what? It stimulates this what? Hair processes. Okay, it stimulates it when chemical substance dissolves. That is in the liquid. Because liquid has to be present for what? For that substance to be tasted. So it has to be dissolved in that liquid first, then it can be tasted. So it stimulates this hair-like processes, and what? Electrical impulse is what? Generated, and the what? The sensory cells send that impulse to the brain in order to allow or let the brain to actually interpret what that taste is. So it sends it to the brain using what? The sensory nerves. So there are sensory nerves what? That lead to the brain. So it sends what? That electrical impulse to what? The brain through the sensory nerves. So this is the taste bud, and just the way I do it, I know that it's easy, or it will be easy for you to what? Draw the taste bud in an exam or in whatever situation. Alright, so in your classes, classwork, homeworks, you can do this. Now we want to look at what? The four main types of taste. The four main types of tastes are what? Sweet, we have salty, we have sour, and we have bitter. So let's show the areas of the tongue that can detect this taste majorly. Okay? So let's take this as the tongue. We are going to find out that what? The main part for tasting sweets is the tip of the tongue. So this is to taste sweet. Then we have that for tasting salty tastes. Salty. Okay, so we also have the part for sour. We have the part for sour, and I'm going to label this sour. And then lastly, we have the part for bitter, which is at the back of the tongue. Bitter. Alright, so this same part, sour and salty, sweet. So these are the four main tastes in one that can be tasted. Any taste is a combination of all these: sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. This is the taste map of the tongue. Taste map of the tongue. So I hope you learned a lot today. If you like this video, don't forget to press the thumbs up, okay? Alright, like this video and also comment, tell me how it went and what it meant, okay? If you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. Alright, see you in my next video. God bless.